Bruce Lee's last day, July 20th, 1973. Bruce Lee's last day began much like any other in Hong Kong during that period. At 32 years old, he was at the height of his fame and energy, preparing for what was expected to be his international breakthrough, the release of Enter the Dragon in August. He had recently completed filming and was now focusing on future projects and business ventures. That morning, Bruce met with producer Raymond Chow to discuss Game of Death, a film he had started before Enter the Dragon. They had a productive meeting, going over scenes, dialogue, and action choreography. Lee appeared to be in good spirits, full of plans and energy. By noon, they decided to take a break and have lunch together. Afterward, Bruce visited the apartment of Betty Ting Pei, a Taiwanese actress and close friend. They planned to review the script for Game of Death, since some scenes were to be filmed at her apartment. According to Chow, Lee appeared slightly unwell that afternoon. He complained of a mild headache and didn't seem as lively as usual. The headache and collapse around 7:30 p.m., Bruce told Betty that his headache had worsened. She gave him a common painkiller, Equagesic, a tablet containing aspirin and a tranquilizer, Meprobamate. After taking the pill, he decided to lie down and rest. Betty left him in her bedroom while she went to prepare for dinner plans they had later that evening with Raymond Chow. When she went to check on him about 2 hours later, she found that he was still asleep. But something was wrong. He didn't respond when she tried to wake him. Panicked, she called Chow and then an ambulance. Efforts to revive him failed. Bruce Lee was rushed first to a nearby hospital, where doctors worked to resuscitate him for over 10 minutes, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead on arrival at Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Hong Kong, at approximately 11:30 p.m., July 20th, 1973. He was only 32 years old. Official cause of death. The suddenness of his death shocked the world. Rumors quickly spread, ranging from assassination theories to mystical explanations. However, the official autopsy report offered a more clinical explanation. The coroner, Dr. Donald Tier, concluded that Bruce Lee died from cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, caused by an allergic reaction to one of the components in the Equagesic tablet. His brain had swollen nearly 13% larger than normal. The official cause of death was listed as death by misadventure and acute cerebral edema due to reaction to a compound present in Equagesic. This meant the death was accidental, the EDAR result of an adverse reaction to a prescribed or over-the-counter medication. Background. Earlier warning signs. Interestingly, this was not the first time Bruce had suffered from brain swelling. 2 months earlier, on May 10, 1973, he had collapsed in a dubbing studio after complaining of severe headaches and dizziness. He was rushed to Baptist Hospital, where doctors found the same issue, cerebral edema. At that time, they treated him successfully with mannitol, a drug that reduces brain swelling, and he recovered. No one could have foreseen that the same condition would strike again, and this time, fatally. Aftermath and legacy. Bruce Lee's death left the world stunned. In the months that followed, speculation flourished. Rumors of poisoning, curses, overtraining, or secret government involvement circulated in Hong Kong tabloids. But no credible evidence ever supported these claims. Betty Ting Pei faced intense public scrutiny, as she was the last person to see him alive. The police investigation found no foul play. The forensic and toxicology reports were consistent with the autopsy findings. Bruce's body was flown to Seattle, Washington, where he was buried at Lakeview Cemetery. His funeral on July 31, 1973 was attended by thousands, including his widow Linda Lee, their children Brandon and Shannon, and close friends like Steve McQueen, James Coburn, and Chuck Norris. Bruce Lee's final day was not filled with drama or violence, but rather quiet preparation for the next stage of his career. He spent it surrounded by people he trusted, working on creative projects he loved. His death came suddenly and unexpectedly, the result of a tragic medical reaction. Even today, over 50 years later, the circumstances of that evening continue to fascinate and haunt fans worldwide. But the consensus remains. Bruce Lee died from a cerebral edema likely triggered by an allergic reaction to medication, not from supernatural causes or conspiracy. In the end, his passing at 32 froze him in time, eternally young, powerful, and driven, the embodiment of his own philosophy. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering,